Hello everyone, and welcome to another brand new episode on my channel, Wonder Boho Book Club. Today I'll be discussing the book, You Will See It When You Believe It, written by Dr. Wayne Dyer. Wayne W. Dyer was an internationally renowned author and speaker in the fields of self-development and spiritual growth. Over the 4 decades of his career, he wrote more than 40 books, including 21 New York Times bestsellers. He created many audio and video programs and appeared on thousands of television and radio shows. You Will See It When You Believe It is a bestseller and goes beyond self-help. It shows you how to activate your mind and live your best life. Dr. Wayne Dyer also talks about how to use our thoughts in a constructive way by focusing on the positive instead of the negative. Dr. Dyer uses anecdotes and examples and is as witty and compassionate as always. Through this book, he teaches us how to achieve personal transformation through visualization of thought by using his own life experience to do so. Before moving ahead, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Part 1. You are much more than your physical body. Most of us have wanted to make some positive changes at some point in our lives. However, it's not easy making changes in the way we do things. So, how do we go about changing ourselves into who we want to be? A lot of people start to transform themselves by trying to change their body. They try a healthier lifestyle and either exercise more or diet. While exercising and dieting are good and beneficial habits in themselves, by focusing solely on our physical health, we overlook the most important aspect of our well-being, our mind. You don't need your body shape to change in order to transform your life. You need to be more than what you see yourself in the mirror. Our body are just one part of who we are. It's what everyone can see or touch, but it's only 1% of who you really are. Most people don't realize that at least 99% of their personality is invisible. It's something you can't see, and it goes way beyond the physical. This invisible part is known as our higher consciousness and is everything that makes us human. Positive changes to this part of yourself will bring about a more profound change in your overall being. You should know that you're limitless when it comes to changing your mind. You can change your mind as much as you want, literally. However, the same can't be said about your body. You can work out as much as you want, but eventually your muscles will have a limit to how much they can endure. But your higher consciousness is different. You can always improve and change it. What this essentially means is that it is all down to how you choose to act in your life. There are no external obstacles, so anything is possible. Part 2. Transform your thoughts into reality. Just like your favorite childhood memory, what you dream of for the future will be something you can only experience through your thoughts. That's why everything that enters our minds is a thought. To live your dreams, you need to first learn how to use your thoughts. Here are some tips to follow. Concentrating on what you want will affect everything that you do. So think about what you envision when you're deciding what to say or do. For example, if you're constantly imagining yourself as shy in front of the crowds, that will manifest as your reality. You will be scared to speak out because you will know you don't have the skills to back it up. On the flip side, if you envision yourself as an excellent public speaker, you will be more confident in your speeches. If you imagine yourself going through your perfect situation in your head beforehand, it will take the edge off. Next, realize that all the conditions necessary to make anything happen already pre-exist in the universe. This can be difficult for us to accept because we are always pining for something that we don't have. But the reality is that we are perfect and exactly where we need to be. We just need to figure out how the pieces of our puzzle fit together. Next, will your thoughts manifest into reality? People often imagine having to be persistent in order for their goals to happen, but it's actually the willingness we need. To turn your dream into a reality, you need some serious will to succeed. That might mean making some major changes in your life, like quitting your job, changing your friend circle, or getting rid of certain habits. As long as you want it bad enough and are willing to work hard for it, there is no such thing as a failure. So don't give up. Part 3. We are all connected to each other. It's no secret that the human species has been involved in wars and battles for millennia, with new conflicts arising all the time. Have you ever wondered why? Well, it's because of our individualistic thoughts and actions. When we think of ourselves as separate and not connected to others, we pursue personal goals which lead to conflict. The only way to escape this vicious cycle is for us to understand that everything is part of the same bigger picture. We are not separate people. To understand this, consider the way our bodies work. We are all made of billions of cells. Each organ in our body comprises groups of cells that perform specific functions. Even though these groups of cells are highly differentiated from each other in terms of the functions they perform, they're all part of one whole, us. We can think of our reality in the same way. Although we might never meet most of the people in this world, we are all part of the same whole, the universe. Again, taking the example of our body, just a few of the cells going rogue would turn disastrous. This is what cancer does. Cancer occurs when a few of a person's cells decide to attack the rest of them instead of working together. We can think about the earth as a human body. If we want an environment that's happy and healthy, we must live in harmony with each other. If we don't, then most of us will be in danger sooner or later. Part 4. Experience abundance by believing in it. It's a sad truth of life that very few of us are able to follow our passions and work on things we truly love and care about. We all yearn for the freedom to express ourselves, yet the limitations and expectations at our jobs get in the way. Why? It happens so because in most cases, we adopt a scarcity mentality, where we constantly focus on things that are missing from our lives. For example, you might think that you would be happier if you had more money, or if more interesting work was offered. But it's also important to be grateful for what you already have. In fact, our fear of not having enough money drives us to accept unhappy jobs and stick to them year after year, even if they don't resonate with who we are or what we love to do. With this scarcity mentality, not only are you risking not doing what you love, but you're also limiting yourself from exploring better opportunities in life. Remember, your thoughts dictate your actions. If you think about not having enough, these thoughts will determine your actions accordingly, and scarcity will be the reality of your life. So, how do we stop ourselves from succumbing to the scarcity mentality? By embracing the principle of abundance in our lives. When it comes to the human potential for achievement, the sky is the limit. There is nothing you can't accomplish as long as you believe it's possible and put your mind to it. This isn't easy to do, but you can work towards it by doing simple things, like showing your gratitude more often. For example, be thankful for the sun and the bountiful nature, your friends and family, and everything else you have in your life. When you take the time to focus on what you're thankful for, you will notice that there is so much more abundance in your life than there may have seemed before. To listen to more interesting summaries, please subscribe to my channel. Part 5. Stop unhealthy attachments to things and people. If you look back at history, you will see that the Westerners have a higher standard of living than any other historical culture. We might think that this will make a lot of people happy, but for some weird reason, it doesn't bring happiness. In fact, the opposite is true. We are all really lonely and unhappy. Why? It's because we are really attached to our possessions and sometimes rely on them for a sense of psychological security. It's not just about the material things, though. Perhaps we're overly attached to something we don't actually need, like a person or the past. This can eventually be too much and end up impacting our lives negatively. As the universe and humanity evolves, things will come into our lives and leave us. We should learn to let them go, as it's part of a natural flow. As sad as it sounds, our attachments sometimes cause more harm than good. They interrupt the natural flow of the universe. It's time to stop obsessing about what you don't have and instead work on becoming detached. This way, you will be able to enjoy life a lot more. Part 6. Experience synchronicity by allowing flow in your life. Has it ever happened that one of your long-lost friends contacted you out of the blue just after you were thinking about him or her? It's possible that it was just a coincidence, but it could also be because you were on the same wavelength. The more we let our lives unfold naturally, the more we'll experience those kinds of synchronicities. The idea of synchronicity is that there is a deeper cosmic connection between events that seem unrelated. This might be a somewhat difficult concept for people to understand. When we experience synchronicity, it's often just assumed to be a random coincidence because we don't realize our thoughts can affect reality in such a profound way. Let's take the example of a remote-controlled car. We know the car and the remote are connected to each other, although there is no visible physical connection between them. The same can be said for synchronicity. Everything is connected, even though it might not seem that way at first glance. When you accept that everything happens for a reason, you will start to notice synchronicities much more often. Part 7. Embrace forgiveness to transform yourself. What's your natural reaction when someone does something bad or unfavorable to you? When most people are faced with such a situation, they get angry. If you are like most, you might hate the person who did bad things to you or blame them for making your life miserable. It's easy to blame others for something that we are feeling, but it won't do you any good. You might even say it will actually have the opposite effect because all your time is spent focusing on negative thoughts that stop you from thinking about the things that are really important to you. If you really want to change, then you have to get over being mad about what's in the past and forgive those who wronged you. Don't forget that everything happens for a reason. Yes, even unpleasant or sometimes painful things. Every time someone else is mean to you, it could teach you a valuable lesson or two. It's hard to think positively when someone has done something to hurt you, but forgiveness can help clear your mind so that you can focus on the positive things in your life. Keep in mind that we all make mistakes. Try not to judge yourself too harshly, or else you will end up feeling even worse. It's okay to be human, which means making mistakes from time to time. You should forgive yourself and look back on what you have done to see if it matches up with your values. Once you have done that, let go and focus on the future instead of dwelling on the past. Part 8. Awaken yourself from within. Following are some tips to implement personal transformation in your daily life. Make a conscious effort to do something outside your comfort zone. Be nice to yourself and view everything that happens as a learning opportunity. Also, be thankful for all you have and who you are. Take a break. Find somewhere quiet and tranquil and sit with your eyes closed. Pay attention to your breathing. This will help you stay in the present moment and relax. When you find yourself with more energy and a lighter mindset, you will be able to concentrate better. So try not to worry too much and quiet your mind. The more you trust your intuition, the easier it will be for those positive currents in life to flow freely. Not only should you give up the urge to take revenge on your enemies, but you should also learn to forgive them. When you let life flow the way it is supposed to, that's when things tend to fall into place. Imagine there is a higher power that cares for you and will always be there for you. Take a step back and remember that you're perfect just the way you are. Conclusion. You can find inner peace by accepting that the universe is perfect and everything happens for a reason. When you do that, you will see harmony in your life and with other people as well. This will help develop your higher consciousness and allow you to transform internally, thereby living a life of abundance and bliss. Thank you for watching this episode. Please don't forget to subscribe. Your likes, shares, and comments are highly appreciated. See you soon in our next